at Maths Form 4. Topic Coordinate Geometry. Lesson 1. Notes. The first formula is length and midpoint. We have a point A with coordinate XA, YA, a point B, coordinate XB, YB, and the line joining the point A and B. And we have a midpoint which I label as capital MAB. It must have a coordinate which is X coordinate of midpoint, I put M, the Y coordinate of midpoint. Okay, so we have these two coordinates. I'm labeling as X coordinate capital M, Y coordinate capital M. So we have three coordinates. The first formula, the length of AB, label as just AB, it is the square root of XA minus XB square plus YA minus YB square, which means the length of AB is square root XA minus XB square plus YA minus YB square. Okay, so that is our first formula for length. The formula for midpoint, I label capital MAB, the X coordinate XM, Y coordinate YM. And the formula is the X coordinate of midpoint, you take XA plus XB divide by 2 over here. X coordinate of midpoint, XA plus XB divide by 2. The Y coordinate of midpoint, YA plus YB divide by 2. Y coordinate midpoint is YA plus YB divide by 2. The third formula, the coordinate of a point dividing a line with a ratio, and that ratio I label as M and N. That means this point C, the point C is dividing the line AB with the coordinate M to N. So we are going to find the X coordinate and the Y coordinate of the point C. The X coordinate of point C is M XB, you see, M XB plus N XA plus N XA, which means M XB plus N XA. So it must intersect, it must intersect. You see, it is intersecting over M plus N. I repeat, the X coordinate of point C that is dividing the line, it is M XB plus N XA over M plus N. The same formula for Y coordinate. The Y coordinate of point C, again, it is M YB over here, MYB plus NYA, again over M plus N. Okay, so we have to memorize this formula. Both formulas should be memorized, but it is the same format. You just memorize one of it is enough. Next, we look at gradient. Gradient symbol N. Again, we have a point A, coordinate XA, YA, a point B, coordinate XB, YB, and the straight line joining them. Now gradient have more than one formula. Gradient have more than one formula. If you are given the coordinates of 2 points, then this is the formula, which is the formula of gradient M. You take YA minus YB over here, divide by XA minus XB. It starts with Y minus Y over X minus X. The second formula for gradient. If you are given the y-axis and the x-axis, you are given y-axis and x-axis with the intercept. You are given the intercept. The y-intercept, y1, and the x-intercept is x1. So this is the line that is making the intercept. So if you are given the y-intercept and the x-intercept, the formula for gradient, negative, don't forget negative, it is the y-intercept divided by x-intercept. The gradient, negative, y-intercept divided by x-intercept. So if you look at the diagram, the y-intercept is y1, x-intercept x1. So the formula gradient M, negative y1 over x1. Next, we look at lines, parallel lines. We have two lines, line 1 and line 2. All lines will have gradient. Okay, so the two lines, line 1 and line 2, the gradient I label M1, M2. When two lines are parallel, their gradient is same. I repeat, when two lines are parallel, their gradient is same. Next, we look at perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines means the angle between them is 90. The angle between them, this angle between the lines, this is 90. So perpendicular referring to that the angle must be 90 degrees. So when two lines are perpendicular and each line have their gradient M1, M2, two lines perpendicular, the product of their gradient M1 times M2 is negative 1. Two lines perpendicular, the product of their gradient, that is M1 times M2, is negative 1. Now this formula we can state in another way. Instead of telling M1 times M2 negative 1, we also can say that the M1 negative 1 over M2 or M2 negative 1 over M1. All three are the same. Okay. Next, we come to equation of a straight line. Again, more than one formula. The first equation of straight line you learn in your lower secondary. Y equals to mx plus c. Okay, we have used this in linear law, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Now the more important formula for straight line is this. This is more important, which is y minus y1 equals to m gradient x minus x1. So this is the formula that we usually use in coordinate geometry. And here, this x1 and y1, the x1 and y1 is it must be a point on the line. So the x1, y1 is a point on the line, and of course, the m is the gradient. Now, when you want to find equation of a straight line, you must have the gradient of the line and a point on the line. So if you want to find equation of a straight line, this is the method. This is the method. Find the gradient using the formula, and then you need a point on the line. You substitute the gradient and the point inside the equation, which is y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay? So this formula is extremely important. Next, we go to locus. Now, locus is equation. So finding locus means finding equation. Locus is equation of a moving point, which must label xy, and it will move with the condition. It will move with the condition. And it is from the condition that we are going to get the locus. So every time do question on locus, you must find the condition, and the condition always given. From the given condition, we will find the locus. Later we will be doing question. And finally, we have come to the last formula, area of a polygon. Now when I say polygon, it can be triangle, it can be a triangle, it can be a rectangle, okay? It can be any polygon, But I'm going to use a triangle to describe the formula. I'm going to use a triangle to describe a formula. We have 3 vertices. The first, each one got coordinate x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Now the formula for area of the polygon, area of polygon is half 1/2, and then you draw the modulus. You draw the modulus. This is the modulus, Modulus. Write the modulus. And then start with one of the coordinate. You can start with any coordinate. I'm starting with x1, y1. So the x1, y1 you label vertical. After you start from any coordinate, in this case, I'm starting with x1, y1. We go anti-clockwise to the next coordinate. So I have labeled, I start with x1, y1. I go to the next coordinate, x2, y2. Again, go anti-clockwise to the third coordinate, x3, y3. Okay? You can start, but you can start with any coordinate. Start with the coordinate that got 0. When you start with a coordinate got 0, easy calculation. And the important part is that any coordinate you start, you must put back again the coordinate. So if I started with x1, y1, and then I end also with x1, y1. Now what is the meaning of this modulus? I'm going to explain the meaning of it. I'm going to rub all this off so that I can explain to you what does it mean inside the modulus. Okay, what we do now? What is the meaning of that modulus? The half I write back. Watch very carefully. We start with the first coordinate x1. x1 you times with y2. You see? x1 times is y2, xy2, and then plus coming down is plus. And then x2, you come down to y3 over here, x2, y3. Again plus. And then x3, you come down to y1, x3, y1. So what have I done? The first three is plus, which is x1 times y2 is going diagonal, x1, y2. And then x2, y3, x2, y3. And then x3, y1, x3, y1. Finish. Now we are going up. I'm going to rub all this again. Now I'm going to do going up. It is y1 times x2, which is y1, x2. But now going up, it must be minus. So I did y1 go up, x2, minus. Again minus, the second one, y2, x3. You see here, y2, x3. Again minus the last one, which is y3, x1. Over here, minus y3, x1. So now, it was going up, minus y1, x2, y1, x2. Minus y2, x3, y2, x3. Minus y3, x1. So all you have to do, you have to multiply each one, all this multiply, all the 6 multiply, and then you do your plus minus. The modulus means if you get a negative answer here, if you get a negative, change it to positive. And then you times by the half outside. So you must do the one inside. If negative, then change to positive. And then you times the half. Okay, that's all for today's lesson. On the next lesson, we will do questions. So if you have any problem, please watch the video more than once. Thank you.